Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now, for this video, I'd like to review a DVD that I watched a couple of nights ago and thoroughly enjoyed. It was made in September. It was released in September 1971, and it stars Joan Collins, James Booth, Ray Barrett, and Sinead Cusack. It was directed by Sidney Hayes, produced by George H. Brown, and that is a movie called Revenge. Now, as per usual, before I say anything further about the movie and giving me thoughts on the story as a whole, I'll just read you the blurb at the back of this DVD, just to sort of give an idea of the general storyline. Right, so Joan Collins, James Booth and Kenneth Griffith star in a sensational X-rated thriller in which an ordinary family turns to vigilante justice in the wake of their daughter's murder. With taut direction from Sidney Hayes and a tense script from the Saint screenwriter John Cruise, Revenge was a notable success in both Britain and the USA. It is featured here in a brand new transfer from the original film elements in its original theatrical aspect ratio. Now, publicans Carol and Jim Radford learn that a reclusive local man suspected of raping and murdering their 10-year-old daughter has been released due to insufficient evidence. Heartbroken and hungry for vengeance, Jim hatches a chilling plan to force a confession from the suspect, abducting and imprisoning him in the pub's cellar. He will become judge, jury, and, if necessary, executioner. So there you go, guys. That's the synopsis for the 1971 British thriller, Revenge. Okay then, guys, on to my thoughts on the movie as a whole. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't fault this movie in any way whatsoever. Top class performances by Joan Collins, James Booth, Sinead Cusack, Ray Barrett. One of the best British psychological thriller movies of the 1970s, in my opinion. Great story, real gripping, and the guy who plays the who do you think has raped and killed the daughter, he was fantastic. He plays this sort of like weaselly little man, with glasses and that, and he's sort of like it keeps you guessing as well. You don't know if he is guilty or if he's really innocent, and that's the great sort of like staying point with this movie, guys. It keeps you grip right to the very end. They don't half give it to him. They snatch him off the streets and that, when he's going to the shops, and they drag him into the pub, down to the cellar, and he beats him up and that, and he leave him there, and you don't know what they're going to do, really. You don't know if they're going to kill him. Well, actually, in one part, I won't tell you too much about it, guys. I don't want to spoil this for you. There's one particular scene where you think he's dead, but he's actually alive, and then all hell breaks loose, guys. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen Revenge, I highly recommend this. It's a fantastic movie. It's very Hitchcockian in tone, and as I say, great performances by this solid cast, of great British actors. And there's a couple of stills there, guys, from the movie. He's fantastic. James Booth as the vengeful publican, and I love the way he's sort of like when he's behind the bar, like when he's serving his customers and that, he presents an affable, sort of like friendly, approach towards customers. But he's also got this dark side because he's hell bent on revenge, for this guy who he thinks, raped and killed his daughter, and you've got that, and you've also got the tension within the family because Joan Collins, she blames herself, for arriving too late. She's sort of like, she's got this sort of like nagging fear that she was partly responsible, for the girl's rape and murder, because she arrived too late. I think it was to pick her up from school, yeah. But this is an excellent movie, this, guys. If you haven't seen Revenge, I highly recommend it. There is actually a Blu-ray of this, but it's very, very expensive. It's near 30 quid, so I'll wait till that goes down in price. But I really enjoyed this movie, guys, and I'm keeping this in my collection. I'm going to watch it again in a couple of weeks' time, and I've got a great booklet with it here, guys, as well, all about the movie. It really goes into depth about the movie. So there you go, and here's the stills, guys. The great Joan Collins there. Fantastic, yeah. And one of my favourite pin-up girls, as I say, Sinead Cusack. She's fantastic in it as well, There you go. She's made some fantastic movies, Joan Collins. I think she's one of our finest actresses, and she's fantastic in this and that. Especially the part when she comes down to the cellar and she's shocked when she sees the guy, he's tied up and gagged and that, and it's a great movie, this, guys. I can't praise this high enough. There's James Booth there as the vengeful publican. Great, he's a great actor, him, James Booth. Very, 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 very gripping movie, this, guys. It really is. Yeah, I enjoyed every single moment of this. And then you've got like a James Booth, like he's sort of like his mate and that. He gets cold feet in because he's sort of like mostly responsible for abducting, you know, this guy who do you think raped and murdered James Booth's little girl, but he gets cold feet and he buggers off and that, you know, he's a little bit of a slime ball, really. He gets them in this fix and that, abducting this guy and that, and James Booth said, well, you've got us into this mess, you get us out of it. Oh, he's fantastic, James Booth, in this. I think this is the greatest role, this, you know, as this publican and that, turned, you know, vengeful sort of, well, almost a killer, really, you know, but oh yeah, this is a fantastic movie, it really is. There's the guy who they abduct, believing that he was responsible for the rape and murder of the daughter. He gives a great performance as well. You know, oh yeah, very, very snivelly, slimy little man and that, you know. And there's James Booth, venting his anger there, guys. Oh, I really enjoyed this, guys. As I say, I can't praise this movie highly enough. There's some great stills, guys, from the movie. Promos. Promotional stuff. Yeah, so there you go. That's the booklets that came with this DVD version of Revenge. There's a couple of interesting paragraphs in here, guys. It really goes into detail. I won't read it all. I'll just read just some segments in that, yeah. But it's fantastic the way they go into detail about this movie. But oh yeah, the pursuit of revenge. Yeah, a young girl has been murdered before the narrative proper starts, and by the end of the credits, the funeral service and burial have taken place, and the film wastes no time in getting straight to its central situation, which is the aftermath of this terrible crime, the impact on the murdered girl's family, and the pursuit and abduction of the chief suspect in an endeavour to make him confess. Yeah. Oh yes, he gives a great performance, as do the rest of the cast, as this sort of like, as I say, you know, suspected of raping and murdering the little girl and that. But yeah, one of the best British movies of the 1970s, yeah. Yeah, it goes on to say, during the drive home from the funeral, the tensions within the family are quickly established, and they clearly lie deeper than the impact of the recent tragedy. Because she was a few minutes late in arriving to collect Jenny from school, yeah, that's what I was referring to before, during which time the child had been abducted, the stepmother, Carol, played by Joan Collins, blames herself for what has happened, and also feels that Jenny's older sister, Jill, played by Zuleika Dobson, holds her responsible. And the depth of Jill's grief is conveyed in a single gesture. When she's in the hall, she notices that Jenny's red coat is still on its hanger, and she places her head against it and sobs quietly before going upstairs to her room. Now, this is a very significant moment dramatically, because in the film, I won't tell you about the finale, guys. I don't want to spoil it for you. But oh yeah, fantastic movie. And this is a fantastic DVD as well. It really is, and the picture quality is absolutely pristine. It really is, you know. It really evokes the atmosphere of 1970s Britain and that, you know, real good crime thriller. It's a pity they're not making movies like this now, guys. You know, very, very few and far between. You know, because this is a classic, an absolute classic. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you get yourself a copy and watch it. You know, I guarantee you will have a fun ride watching this movie. It's a real good, gripping British thriller. Yeah, not one single boring moment in it, guys. Thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, it says here about when they abduct the guy, they said it's entirely plausible that their plan will go awry, since it's being carried out by professional criminals, carried out not by professional criminals, but by panicky citizens. Yeah, oh, fantastic! Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it, guys. Yeah, totally held my attention from start to finish, you know, and very, very realistic scenes as well. And that, you know, you've got like the pub and that, you know, and James Booth's character, the publican, and that, and the way they're fighting all the time over what to do with him, you know, they're sort of like, oh, shall we kill him? Shall we dump him? You know, get it over with. And they're scared about the police, of course, you know, in instances like this, when they sort of like go against the law, and sort of like, you know, as in the Charles Bronson movies, the Death Wish movies, they take the law into their own hands and administer what they think is the right form of justice. You've got that tone running right through the movie, and you're hoping like that everything goes well, you know, but it's a very, very dark movie, this, guys. I'm not going to tell you any more about it. I highly recommend that you watch it, get a copy and watch it for yourself, and you'll see what I'm on about. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it, and you don't get, I tell you what, guys, you don't get many movies like this, you know, really hold your attention from start. This is an absolute classic. It really is. You know, it's not a horror. It's not really a horror. It's more of a kind of Hitchcockian psychological thriller, you know, abducting this weaselly, snivelly guy, as I say, who do you think is raped and killed a daughter, putting them down in the cellar, tying them up, and then you've got him, like, you know, you say you don't really know about him, really. He's sort of like, he's got like a dodgy appearance and that, and the way they're following him in the car, that sort of like evokes the feeling like, or maybe he did do it, you know. You got all that, you see, all that atmosphere great cinematography, you know, aside so where they're following him in the car and that, and just snatch him off the streets and that. And oh, they don't half give it to him, guys, when they get him in that cellar. Oh, yeah. Oh, they give him the high, think of his life. They really do. And then, as I say, you think he's dead. And then his eyes open. And oh God. From then on, guys, a real roller coaster ride. Yeah. All right, then, guys, on to my racing for Revenge. Oh, no hesitation. A full 10 out of 10. Absolute classic of British cinema. Oh, yeah. I can't fault this movie in any way whatsoever. Great story, solid cast, high rewatchability factor, and one of my all-time favourite British thrillers from the 1970s, Revenge. Very, very well done. You know, the cast, oh, what can I say about the cast? They were just magnificent. You know, the story was solid. You know, as I say, no boring moments and that. And when you've got, let's face it, guys, when you've got like a stellar cast with Joan Collins in, James Booth, you know, Ray Barrett, Sinead Cusack, you know, expect class like this. Yeah, there's not all that many features on it, guys. You've only got the theatrical trailer, image gallery, and the script. But I would imagine that the Blu-ray might have a couple of more, you know, extra special features. But hopefully, when that comes down in price, I'll get the Blu-ray, yeah. All right then, guys, that concludes my review of Revenge, the 1971 British psychological thriller. Have you seen Revenge by any chance? What did you think of it? Did you share my high opinion of it? Let me know, guys, in the comments down below. I'd be very interested, you know, to hear what you thought of Revenge. Oh, but I love it, guys, yeah. But yeah, and you really, you know, sort of like you really root for the protagonist, like, you know, if you think this guy's guilty in that, you really hope that they get the, you know, the justice what they deserve, you know, for their poor daughter and that. Oh, it's fantastic, it really is, yeah. All right then, guys, that's it. If you like if you like the video, please feel free to share, subscribe, comment, and all going well, I shall be back very, very soon with another video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye for now.